I really like spooky movies. And no, I don't mean I like horror movies, because I don't really watch horror movies. I just really like spooky movies. You know, like Beetlejuice or whatever.
It's showtime.
But recently I revisited a spooky movie that I liked from a few years ago when I watched it. It's called The Lost Boys. And it's really good, and I want to talk about it. So, you know, The Lost Boys released in 1987 and was directed by Joel Schumacher. It stars Corey Haim, Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patric, Corey Feldman, Jamie Gertz, Jamison Newlander, Brooke McCarter, Diana Wiest, Edward Herman. I wasn't looking at my phone. But yeah, this movie has a lot of really cool people in it. But I want to get into a specific part of this film. And it's a little bit of a weird one, because normally when it comes to movies with child actors, the child actors tend to be the worst part of the movie because, you know, they're children. But in this movie, the child actors are the best part of the film, because for some reason, Corey Feldman is really, really, really funny.
Actually, I'm looking for a Batman number 14.
That's a very serious book, man.
This movie starts with Lucy, a divorced mother, taking her sons Michael and Sam to a small town in California. They soon find out that this town is not as it seems, and it has an infestation of vampires. Michael falls in love with some random chick he just met, and apparently she turns out to be one of these vampires, and he gets cahooted into joining this gang of vampires as they make him drink blood, and he turns into one of them. You'd think maybe he would taste it and, you know, stop drinking it, but no, he just keeps on drinking. And whilst all this is happening, Michael's little brother Sam is meeting up with a couple of other guys at this comic book store, and they become real good friends, and they tell him about how there's vampires infecting this town and how they know how to kill them. It doesn't take Sam long to figure out that Michael has turned into a vampire because his dog starts sensing vibes from him, I guess. They get into a bit of an argument. Sam locks Michael out of the house for being a vampire, because that's what you do, and he starts screaming at him.
You're a vampire, Michael. My own brother, a damn sucking. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy. Sam, you wait.
And then Sam decides, you know what, I'm gonna find the vampires that did this to you, and I'm gonna kill them. So he rallies together his group of other miners, and they go on a little journey to a vampire cave, and they kill that one dude from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And it's just a really cool movie. It's really, really funny for some reason. It's funnier than it has any right to be. This movie is weirdly a bit of a comedy more than it is scary. I just find it to be a really weird movie, because it's not often where you find a film where the kids are better actors than the adults, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about mostly, is how talented these kids are. And that's not to diss on the adult actors, they're doing a fine job too, but I just think it's really weird how contrasted it is to see these people doing a bit more with the material and going all out with the roles compared to the adults who are probably more experienced. And hey, that's just saying that the kids are really talented. And also, the makeup in this movie is also really good. The music is really great as well. You've got a cover of People Are Strange by The Doors, which is a decent job. I would have preferred if they used the actual original version of the song, but they probably couldn't afford that. But one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk about this movie is there are a lot of vampire films, like a lot, and I find most of them to be quite tedious. And I'm not talking about the old ones being old and that's why they're tedious. I mean things like Twilight or any horror romantic type of movie. I just find those sort of vampire films to be not for me. And that's why I love movies like The Lost Boys or Dark Shadows or all of these movies that I find kind of underrated, honestly. And movies like Dark Shadows get hated on for being comedies, and I just think it's kind of weird. And I want more movies like this, because I think that dark comedies, or comedies in general, are not really popular anymore. But dark comedies specifically is such a niche genre. There's not a whole lot of them that exist. Most of them that do exist came out in the 80s or the 90s. That's not to say we didn't get any post 90s, but we don't get as many as we did then. And you know what? I don't really see many comedies in general coming out anymore. I am thinking about making a video on that topic at some point, but that's a subject for another day. But anyway, The Lost Boys is a movie, and it does exist, and you can watch it. Anyway, bye!